Hello everybody, this is Quazy. So the other day I made a Reddit post based on this spreadsheet, and the Reddit post itself got removed. I'm pretty sure because I plugged my socials, and they have like a zero tolerance policy about promotion. But I did see some people make TikToks about this spreadsheet and about my findings. So I figured I would make a video on it and just give my own perspective and explain kind of the methodology that I got and the results that I found because there was a lot of misconceptions, I think, in the comments of that TikTok video that I saw. And I'll put a link down to the Reddit thread. My post is not there anymore, but you can still read the comments. And I'll also put a link to this spreadsheet on Google Docs as well if you want to take a look at it for yourself. So the spreadsheet shows basically the average KD of the last 64 games of each player listed above. So if it's an orange person, this is like a random person that I found just when I was collecting data. If they're highlighted in pink, they are either a big streamer or YouTuber. So we have people like Swag, Tim the Tatman, Nick Mercs, Aiden, Huskers, Symphony. We have like These Knives Only, and K3. And then if they're yellow, they're a small streamer or YouTuber. So for example, like Kim Steak Sauce, I found because he plays with Bonk. And so I just noticed that, and so I added them to the list, and I found his Twitch as well. Before I get started, I do want to say that I didn't make this video or spreadsheet to try to disparage anyone. I'm fans of like most of the people on this list. I do like their content, and I do enjoy the personalities and communities that they bring to the game. I made this spreadsheet mainly out of frustration with my own experience with the game. I noticed that, games, at least recently, over the past couple months, have been extremely hard. We're landing and we're just fighting like the sweats in the lobby, or what it seems to be the sweats. It seems like everyone's a sweat right off the bat, you know, and we can't really get any momentum. Games just seem like it's like we're playing ranked or something in like a normal game. So I noticed if I go to, for example, like Z-Laner's COD tracker, I'm noticing that he's getting a lot of these lobbies that have like a zero in the front, right? Where like the average KD starts with a zero, meaning that the average KD is under a one. And when you go to my profile, like everything is above a one. So that kind of got me thinking, like, is this confirmation bias or is there some truth behind what I'm seeing? So I made the spreadsheet to visualize exactly what I'm thinking, and just to see if it's confirmation bias or to see if there is something nefarious going on. So I built the spreadsheet based on the last 64 games that each of these players have played. I tried to exclude Rebirth Island game modes because there's only 40 players in a Rebirth game mode compared to Verdansk, which has 150. And so if you have a whole team of people who have like really high KDs, that can skew the lobby average harder than it can in Verdansk. I also tried to exclude games where the lobby KD was like exceptionally high due to a cheater with like a 50 KD or a team of cheaters with like 10 plus KDs. And so those games, I threw out because they were artificially inflated. And a lot of these games do have cheaters in them. I'm not going to omit every single game with a cheater in it because I would have to admit probably all of them. But just because I'm getting cheaters in my games doesn't mean that no one else is getting cheaters in their games. So everyone's getting their fair share of cheaters in the game. I also tried to exclude players who, at the time of data collection, consistently played with others who were already on the list, as their matches would be the same and therefore they would have the same stats. So for example, I didn't include Dr. Disrespect on this list because at the time he was playing with Z-Laner a lot. So let's talk about the color coding of the spreadsheet. So as you can see, the colors range from dark green to dark red. Dark green basically means that the lobby is very easy, and if it has like white text, then it's like egregiously easy. If it has dark red with white text, that means the lobby is egregiously hard. And so there's a lot of middle ground, but as you can see, I've sorted the lobbies based on highest KD, highest average KD to lowest average KD. So at the top, you have Scummin, who has an average of 1.25 KD lobby. And at the bottom, you have K3, who has an average of 0.872 lobbies. Now, what this means is that when you take a look at my stats, and I think this really justifies my frustration, where I have had 3 games in the past 64 where the average lobby KD was below a 1.1. And 1.1 is significant here because it is the middle denominator of all of the lobby categories, and it's also pretty much exactly the average lobby of all games in this data set. The average lobby KD is 1.101. So if we take the halfway point of 1.1, 3 out of 64 games, or just under 5%, have been below average, meaning easier than average. Compare that to, say, Jack Frags, who has had 0.56 KD lobbies, multiple zero point 0.5 average KD lobbies, with 78% of his lobbies being easier than 1.1, easier than average, or even These Knives Only, where 92% of his lobbies are easier than average. Now, I did notice that people who play solos only tend to have lower KD lobbies on average probably because people who play solos typically are less invested in the game, um, and maybe are just worse in general. But that is something that I noticed. I did notice that your KD has nothing to do with how good of a lobby you get. Scummin with a 5.39 KD gets the hardest lobbies I've seen. JGod, who plays on Resurgence, um, a little bit, he does get easier lobbies. Z-Laner with a 5.9 KD gets even easier lobbies. Aiden with a 5 KD gets the easier lobbies. Tfue, these games were taken a month ago, so this is not even from the same time frame, but the stats still line up where he gets easier lobbies. He has a 4.3 KD. The win rate doesn't matter either, or the number of wins. Iron has a 50% win rate with 4,000 wins, and he still gets easier lobbies than, Bonk, myself, who I have a 1.75, and Scummin. So, it doesn't seem like skill-based matchmaking applies to these people. And, one thing that's kind of also inexplicable is that this person here, or, Wiener69, who has a 1.6 KD, terrible win-loss ratio. Well, not terrible, but like, it is what it is. He still gets, more than half of his games are on the easy side. And this is not a streamer. This is not some sort of COD pro. It's just some random guy getting easier lobbies than me. So again, is my frustration justified where I say that maybe I'm just getting unlucky? Every game that I get thrown into feels like I'm getting thrown into the blender. We can take a look at the lower end of the list where people like Husker, Symphony, and Tfue, they're having 59 to 65% of their games as below average, and they're also getting these lobbies that are like insanely easy, 0.72, 0.79. Jack Frags was mentioned in my Reddit comment, or in my Reddit thread, by actually just LollyTTV. He's getting these lobbies that are just so insanely easy. It's just kind of unimaginable that there are even enough players to fill a lobby where the average KD is 0.56. You know, and I do want to show some examples of videos where these people are playing against people that I have never seen before. So I have this one example here where so a person is going to challenge him, and then he's going to climb up the ladder. and it's like the absolute worst play I think anyone could possibly make in the situation. But let's take a look.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, they're off the move.
So that guy just, got armor broken and then started climbing up the ladder. Inexplicable, right? His name is Mr. Uriel02. So I'll pull up his contractor here. This is a point .3 KD player, right? I have another example here.
Sir.
Joe Woe.
Oh. Damn. Again. Don't need doors? Let me back out. Stop it, Carrie. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Back on that ass. Yep. You better start
I mean, you
swinging,
can
girl.
see,
That's all you got on console.
you can see that Joe Woe is literally laughing. This is comical. It's comical how bad this player is.
You better start swinging for your life, Carrie. Yup, run away. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. I came to the wrong damn. Oh.
The guy's name is supercarl underscore 49335, or supercari, sorry. This guy's a .28 KD player. I'm saying that, I've literally never seen players this bad in my games, but these streamers just seem to get them left and right. I do want to also point out a clip that I saw recently of Swag getting stream sniped by people. And there's one thing in this game where Hector or Repulse says something, and I'll play the video and we can listen.
Wait, I'm not even going to you. Whole team just pulled up on me. Whole team pulled up. Whole team pulled up. What do you mean? Where? Whole team pulled up in a heli.
What the fuck is that,
Whole
bro?
team just pulled up in a heli.
People want to say, why can't I get your lobbies, bro?
So he said that people want to say, why can't I get your lobbies, bro? As if that he gets hard lobbies and people don't want this, right? They don't see what goes on in the background. And for the most part, I think that is true. They cherry pick the best games that they get, they post it on YouTube, and it makes them look better than what they do on stream, where they're getting these lobbies and they might not do so well. But my issue with that statement is that Swag in this example, I don't know about Repulse, but Swag in this example gets 29 games that are easier than the average compared to my 3. He's getting 10 times the amount of easy games that I do. And everyone knows that, the game is more fun when you yourself are doing well, right? When you're getting those high kill games. And it's just hard when you don't have the lobbies to back it up. I have another video on my YouTube channel that shows, I looked at 300 of my own games from June or July. Back then I actually had a higher average KD, so same stuff applies even to this day. And it showed that, statistically, you are more likely to do better when the lobby is easier. I know it makes sense intuitively, and obviously when there's more bad players, you have a higher chance of doing well. But I do have a video showing that with graphs and everything. But my point is, I do want your lobbies. I'll gladly take these 1.3s in exchange for all of these, 0.9s and 0.8s, right? Because I'm already getting these 1.3s. I'm already getting the 1.3s, 1.4s. I'm getting way more 1.2s, right? I'm getting way more 1.1s. So yeah, I would like your lobbies because they're not as sweaty. They're literally not as sweaty. So to summarize, I don't think that there's anything going um, on the side of these streamers. I don't think that they are intentionally doing this. And I don't think that they have some sort of secret plan behind the scenes where everyone is like VPNing or manipulating the game or the way that matches are found in order to tilt them into their own advantage. Um, some people on Reddit DM'd me some software that people might be using. I tried it myself. It's not intuitive. It's hard to use, and it requires you to like whitelist your friends' IPs addresses and stuff. And I don't think that there is this mass coordination behind the scenes to allow this to happen. What I do think is the most likely explanation is that Activision themselves have some sort of whitelist where, if they know who you are, if they know that, you're Aiden and you're queuing up, SBMM or skill-based matchmaking will just like not work for you. You'll get into a lobby, or maybe it'll work, in your favor, but you'll get into this easy lobby half the time, and you'll get into a hard lobby the other half of the time. But on average, you're gonna get more easy lobbies, and then when you get those easy lobbies, you can do well. You're gonna make a video out of it. You're gonna post that video on YouTube. People are going to watch the video on YouTube. People are going to want to play to try to emulate what you've done. And, obviously it doesn't really work like that. But people are going to play it nonetheless. And when people play, they spend money. And when people spend money, Activision is happy. So I think that's the most likely explanation. Some other theories that people have is that when you buy a pack, it might like make your skill-based matchmaking a little softer for a couple games. And so a lot of these people who have partnerships with Activision, um, they either like maybe get the packs for free, or if you are someone who buys the packs, oops, then maybe you might get easier lobbies for a little bit, and maybe these people do buy the packs to try to get easier lobbies. And I think I've seen some videos where some pros have expressed that they've noticed that as well. But regardless, that also ties into how Activision makes money. They make money by selling packs, and if you sell a pack and you do well with that pack, maybe you subconsciously will buy a pack in the future because it enhances your game experience. So if you liked this video, if you liked this analysis, if you got some insight into what the lobbies look like compared to a normal player, then feel free to share it. A subscribe would be greatly appreciated on YouTube. A follow on Twitch would also be greatly appreciated. I'll leave my Twitch down in the description. I do stream almost daily for a couple hours, so that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.